I fell asleep by the pool. Suddenly, a light rain began to fall. The raindrops hitting my body jolted me awake. Rubbing my eyes, I noticed the water level had dropped drastically. I stood up in shock, unable to comprehend the sight before me. Even as the downpour intensified, the pool's water remained completely stagnant. Panic set in, and I screamed out for my boyfriend. He had definitely arrived with me, yet he was nowhere to be found when I turned around. I kept yelling his name, but my cries were met with total silence. Desperate, I grabbed my phone to dial his number. The line rang, but he never answered the call. Unbeknownst to me, his motorcycle had broken down earlier, though he had just repaired it and was heading my way. As I reached for my phone, I accidentally nudged my chair over the edge, sending it tumbling down right on top of me. Sometime later, my boyfriend finally showed up at the pool. Scanning the area without spotting me, he figured I had already headed home. He was just turning to leave when a dog's bark caught his attention. Stepping back toward the edge, he caught sight of my bag. Peering down into the drained pool, he discovered my unconscious body sprawled on the concrete. He shouted my name repeatedly, but I remained completely unresponsive. He sprinted over to use the ladder, only to find it completely jammed. Catching sight of a discarded water bottle, a sudden plan formed in his mind. He snatched up the bottle and hurried over to the low barrier. He began tossing splashes of water down onto me to force me awake. Fortunately, the last splash managed to rouse me from my stupor. I groggily opened my eyes and pushed myself into a sitting position. He frantically demanded to know what had gone wrong. However, a new threat was already closing in on us. Right in the middle of our conversation, the bolt securing the ladder unexpectedly gave way. He plummeted into the pool, and I scrambled over to check on him. Together, we immediately started hunting for an exit. He approached the drainage grate, utilized his tools to remove the hardware, and shoved the heavy iron cover aside. At the same time, I blew my whistle as hard as I could to signal for help. While we were trying to formulate a plan, a gigantic alligator violently emerged from the open pipe. Paralyzed by absolute terror, I was completely frozen in place. He shoved a wooden bench out of the way and threw himself in front of me as a human shield. He attempted to intimidate the beast with loud noises, but the creature was unfazed. Hopelessness washed over us as we braced ourselves to be devoured. Miraculously, the massive reptile paused, spun around, and swam away in another direction.